Hello and welcome to an algebra tutorial video learning about single variable inequalities and how to work with them. In this video we're going to talk about starting to solve these inequalities out. So we're going to look at some really simple ones here, some single step with addition or subtraction. And if you've gone through and if you've been learning about solving equations, you're actually going to see it's a really similar process. So with single step addition or subtraction, if I have an inequality and I want to solve the inequality to get the variable by itself, I want to know, well, what are the solutions? What could x be? I simply do the inverse operation to both sides to solve for my variable. So let's talk about what that actually means. So right here on the left, I've got some number. If I subtract 8, I want to have that be greater than or equal to negative 13. So I'm trying to find out, well, what are all the possible numbers that make that true? So let's rearrange this thing. I'm going to draw a line down because, again, that helps me think about doing the inverse operations. And I don't want x minus 8. I want to get x. I want to know, well, what are all the possible solutions for x? So the inverse operation here is I have minus 8. The inverse is going to be to add 8. If I don't want that 8 anymore, negative 8 plus 8, they both turn into 0. They're opposites of each other, and I'm just left with x. But if I do it to one side, to keep my inequality the same, I need to add 8 to the other side as well. So that's where the inverse operation on both sides of the inequality. So negative 13 plus 8 is going to be negative 5. And since I made both sides bigger by the same amount, I can still keep the same inequality. So my solution set is x is all the numbers greater than or equal to negative 5. And if I wanted to do a really quick graph on that, there'd be 0, there's negative 5. I would have all the numbers greater than or equal to, so it's a solid dot, a solid point at negative 5, and x is greater than, so we go to the right. Okay, let's take a look at this other equation now. So we've got 6 plus some number x has to be less than 4. So I want to solve that out. I am going to do the opposite operation. I have x plus 6. I want to subtract 6 from both sides. Plus 6 minus 6, those are inverses of each other, turn into 0. And I'm left with just x. 4 minus 6 is negative 2. And since I subtracted the same amount from both sides, my inequality is still true. So we see that, okay, x has to be less than negative 2. If I put that on a number line, there's a 0. There's negative 2 is to the left of 0 because it's less. And if I want to graph it, I'm going to put an open circle because it doesn't equal negative 2. But it's all the values less than, so I'm going to go to the left. All right, so there is our first pass at learning how to solve inequalities. And it's really, really similar to solving equations. We do the same thing to both sides. We work on getting the variable by itself. And I went ahead and we can also represent our solutions both in symbols or in a graph form as well.